This week on Wildcat News, one exceptional athlete is honored by WRAL.
A wide range of new college classes are now available.
And love is in the air. All these stories and more coming up next because Wildcat News begins now. Good morning, West Johnston. I'm Erik Beene.
And I'm Jamie Snover, welcoming you to this week's episode of Wildcat News. Every week, WRAL News presents the Extra Effort Award to an exceptional student athlete. This week, Trey Frederick was presented with the award. Tom Suter from WRAL tells us why Frederick was chosen.
This is an award that we started back in 1981 that goes to an outstanding high school student athlete. And over the years, it's really, I like to say that we've been doing this so long, our first winner is now 51 years old. So that shows how long we've been presenting these. When we started doing this, it was, you could be a football player and rush for 300 yards. You could get the Extra Effort Award. But over the years, it's evolved into, we want good students, we want well-rounded students, and we want students who are pretty good athletes. Trey Frederick is, when I saw his resume, I'm saying this guy is too good to be true. He's student government president, he plays 3 sports, he's an actor, he's an all-state in chorus, he's an honor student. I mean, he's got so much stuff that I don't know how I'm going to get his story in a minute 50.
Congratulations to Trey for his award.
For our athletes to be the best, they need the best equipment possible. Gerardo Roman reports on the state of the tennis courts.
The tennis courts have taken quite a beating since the school was established in 2002. We asked Amanda Fisher and Conrad Brewer their thoughts on the condition of the courts.
The courts, in order to have a better experience, should probably be resurfaced and have new nets so it's easy to see the lines and whether or not the ball actually went over or through the holes in the net. My opinion of the courts overall is, they don't look the best, but they still work. The ball bounces, so it's just mainly aesthetic problems.
We get a lot of runoff down here, so whenever it's wet, the dirt and the runoff sits on the courts and makes that black sludgy material. I would think it was the material was a hazard because, especially when it's a little bit damp, they could slip and fall on the sludgy material and definitely hurt themselves. I think that our kids are used to playing on this, but whenever opponents come, they get hurt. And I feel like it's a liability. The Wildcat Booster Club is working on getting the courts resurfaced. I think the thing now with it balding and all of this runoff on the courts, we're gonna have to resurface them totally. And also there needs to be a drainage system in place because we can see that the water is just sitting on these courts.
I'm Gerardo Roman, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Gerardo.
Recently, not only have our athletes been honored for their dedication, but so have some of our brightest seniors.
Melanie Langness has won the merit-based Moorhead Kane Scholarship to UNC-Chapel Hill.
And Carly Bird has won the $94,000 Strickland Scholarship to Campbell University. Brody Hall gives us more.
I won the Campbell Strickland Scholarship. First, you had to be a presidential scholarship winner, and that was based off of GPA and test scores. And then I had to go to a competition, and we only had 5 minutes to answer 3 questions, and the rest of it was based off of what I said in that interview.
So I received the Moorhead Kane Scholarship, which is a full ride to the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, It's worth close to $200,000. It's incredibly prestigious. It's actually the first scholarship for a public university in the nation, so it's incredibly old and just amazing. So to get the scholarship, I started with the basic application and filling that out and turning that in back in October. And then that pool of applicants, of original applicants, is close to 5,000 internationally. And I was chosen to be one of the 1,000 semifinalists. And at that level in January, I went to interviews in Chapel Hill. So after making it through the semifinals interviews in January, I went to finals weekend, February 28th through March 3rd, so recently. It was absolutely amazing. I met the 126 other finalists and made so many awesome friends from all over the world. The foundation held a banquet for us, a food truck rodeo, scheduled entertainment, and then I had, of course, my final interview, which was incredibly nerve-wracking, but apparently they liked me.
I visited Campbell, and I really liked their campus and their ideals, so when I got the scholarship, that was the deciding factor.
I originally was not going to apply for the Moorhead. I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think I could fit in with all these amazing people who were so accomplished, but I would like to thank Miss Jeanette Nyman for pushing me to do so and to actually apply and helping me with my essays and helping me through the process, because I definitely wouldn't have gotten it if it wasn't for her.
My advice to somebody trying to get this scholarship would be to work really hard in school and keep up on current events.
I'm Brody Hall, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Brody, and congratulations to all the seniors who have won scholarships this year.
All this talk about college is really wanting me to, hurry this high school thing up so I can get there.
You can take college classes in high school, right?
You serious?
Just watch. Jarrett Spann shares more about CCP.
We traveled to JCC to ask Carrie Cockrell, the director of CCP program for Johnston County, about the Career and College Promise program.
Career and College Promise. It's a program that the state of North Carolina started in January of 2012, where high school students can earn college credits while still in high school for free. Career and College Promise itself is a broad span. The classes can be in any areas. We have 24 different pathways. All of those are guaranteed to go to the 16 universities of in the North Carolina system, and most of our private universities in North Carolina.
Cockrell talks about the opportunity to take JCC classes and what grades can take these college courses.
We actually have opportunities for all grade levels, 9 through 12. Majority of our pathways, all 24, are open to 11th and 12th graders mostly. For 9th and 10th grade, they only have 4 pathways available for them. They're in the Career and Technical Education pathway.
Cockrell explains how taking CCP classes gives you the best of both worlds.
College experience that you would get, you're on a college campus when you come here. Although it is it's not a 4-year university, it's a 2-year college. It's still the college experience.
I'm Jarrett Spann, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Jarrett.
Change is coming, and it may just help your grades. The North Carolina State School Board has voted to move all high school students to a 10-point grading scale.
Have you ever been crushed when you fell short of that A by 1 point when you got a 92? Well, if you get a 92 next year, that 92 becomes an A. Yes, North Carolina has officially moved to the 10-point scale. Freshmen Summer Lanier and senior Faith Turner discuss what they believe are the advantages to the new system.
I am looking forward to the 10-point grading scale because it's easier to know what grades you have and where you stand in your classes. I think this will be good for my class because it's easier to make higher grades, so it motivates people to try harder to get better grades.
It allows for more students to get A's, and in a way I think that's good, but because it'll make it more competitive for the class, and more people will be fighting for the top spot as valedictorian. I think that it more prepares students for college because colleges use a 10-point grading scale. So I think that's an upside to having it.
Even though the grade scale will change next year, that won't affect your current or past grades.
I think it's unfair that grades aren't retroactive because if I had a 92 last year in a class and I got a B and someone had it next year, got the same grade as me, they would get an A.
I don't think it's fair that the new classes coming into high school could score a 91 or a 92 and they would get an A, whereas the students here that have already taken that class may have gotten that same grade, but they would get a B.
Turner shares why she isn't disappointed the new scale didn't get implemented earlier.
I'm not disappointed that it didn't happen because if it did happen, then I would probably be competing with more people for valedictorian.
Now, the decision would also lower the weighting of honors and AP classes for incoming freshmen in 2015.
Prom is only a few weeks away, and many people are looking for a date.
Katherine Serrell shows us how some people popped the question.
This year, people promposed in a variety of unique ways. Here are a few. I got this idea because we both love bow hunting, and she recently got a bow, and so I thought it would be kind of cute if we did that, so that's what I did. It was very successful. The setup process was kind of hard because she was home, so I had to sneak around, but we got it all good. And that's when I got a little nervous because I thought she was going to see everything, but she ended up not seeing it, so it was all good.
The way Bryce asked me to prom was I went to Reedy Creek Golf Course after he texted me and told me to go there. And I showed up and nobody was parked in the parking lot except there was a golf cart and there were glow sticks and little note cards. And I went on a little scavenger hunt throughout Reedy Creek Golf Course, and then I got to hole number 17 and he was standing there with flowers and a prom poster, and that's how he asked me.
So I came home and he was in my room and I didn't know it. Popped out at me when I went in my door and it was just like,
I did like Neverland like theme like clues. I mean, she said yes, so pretty successful. Oh, I was so nervous, like the most nervous I've probably like been in my life. I like, had to sit in the car and pep talk myself for like 5 minutes before I went inside and asked her.
I'm Katherine Serrell, Wildcat News.
Thanks, Katherine.
That's all for us this week. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, email us at wjstudentmedia@gmail.com.
And if you want to watch Wildcat News at home, on the go, or catch up on past episodes, go to www.wildcatscratchpost.com/wildcatnews or subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Erik Beene.
And I'm Jamie Snover. Thanks and have a great week.